The new season of Black Mirror certainly starts off with a bang. Quite a few of them, actually. Striking Vipers is not the show's first video game-centric episode. In fact, it quite explicitly builds on its predecessors, using a VR technology that works very similar to the one in US Callister. You plug a little headset into your temple, your eyes go white as you enter the game with a virtual avatar, and you can exit any time by saying, "Exit game." And like Jesse Plemons in US Callister, the main characters of Striking Vipers are drawn to their game because it provides things they can't quite find in real life. First though, the episode opens in the past. We see a young Danny, Anthony Mackie, pick up a girl at a bar, and then play a few rounds of the fighting game Striking Vipers with his roommate Carl, Yahya Abdul Mateen Aya. Flash forward 11 years, and now Danny is celebrating his 38th birthday alongside his wife Theo, Nicole Bahari, and their young son. They're having a bunch of people over to the house for the backyard birthday party, and soon even Carl shows up even though he and Danny haven't seen each other much in recent years. He brought a gift. Striking Vipers X, the latest installment of the fighting game they used to play together. But this one is different from their old console game. It requires the aforementioned VR headset, which Carl helpfully bought for his friend as well. Later that night, after everyone's gone home, Danny boots up the game for the first time and connects with Carl, who's also online. They each pick a character. Danny becomes the muscular Lance, Ludi Lin, while Carl chooses the female fighter Roxette, Palm Clementif. At a glance, I'd say these character designs are an homage to classic fighting games like Street Fighter. Lance's martial arts outfit strongly resembles the one worn by Ryu in that franchise, while Roxette delivers speedy kicks like Chun-Li. Their first fight makes for a fun sequence, even if Danny's years away from the game means that Lance mostly just stands there while Roxette rains down blows. There are some fun combos, and it's also nice to see Clementif perform without her Guardians of the Galaxy Mantis makeup. But then, something unexpected happens. After a tussle, Lance ends up on the ground with Roxette kneeling on top of him. Overflowing with physical excitement from the fight, Roxette and Lance suddenly start making out, at least until Danny catches himself and quickly exits the game. As Carl explained beforehand, the VR version of Striking Vipers allows players to feel every physical sensation their avatars experience. So Danny felt every single punch Lance took from Roxette, and also apparently felt their passionate kiss. But was he really making out with Carl or just a female cartoon? Either way, it's not a one-time thing. Danny and Carl try to downplay what happened by saying they were drunk, and their next game starts with Roxette declaring, "I'm gonna kick your ass, motherf." Or nevertheless, they soon end up kissing again. These sessions become regular, and soon move beyond kissing. One night, when Theo's out drinking with friends, we see Lance and Roxy putting their clothes back on after virtual sex. Danny is only pulled out of the game by his young son, who's up past his bedtime and declares, "I'm thirsty." You're not the only one, kid. The central conceit of this episode seems like a riff on two basic ideas about video gaming. One is the act of playing as a character with a different gender/sexuality than you, as Carl does with Roxette. Does that change you as a person in some way? The answer for Carl is not really, but it does open him up to new experiences. He remains a high-flying bachelor, but freely admits that having sex as Roxy, with his best friend on the other end, is the most transcendent sex he's ever had. The other central idea here is that we have fighting games, so why not sex games? Violence and sex are, after all, the two primal ways of resolving conflict between humans. Maybe it's just because I've been revisiting Alan Moore's legendary superhero comic Miracleman lately, in the wake of both Shazam and Brightburn, but this episode reminds me of a sequence towards the end of that series, when Miracleman and Miraclewoman learn that their superpowers are derived from an alien race that happens to be locked in cosmic Cold War stalemate with another highly advanced alien race. Miraclewoman's solution: "Excuse me, but couldn't you have sex instead?" The two alien cultures begin to bond as a result, and find a new solution to their long-running war. I love that this episode is basically what would happen if you posed that same question to Ryu and Chun-Li. As you might expect, Carl and Danny start getting bored with their real lives. Carl's eyes start glazing over on dates, while Danny loses all inclination to have sex with his wife.